Guys, it's Brendan with Blue Tiger Wellness. I wanted to do a little catch up since I haven't done a video in a while. And what I've wanted to kind of talk about today was the reactions that I've been having to people, and ever since I've been doing the astro forecasts or the day's energy, I call them the dailies of the day. I've been getting a really great reactions from people. It's been great to see. People have been messaging me saying, that I felt like that was me in your story, which is really, I think if I've done that, I've done my job. If people can see their tendencies and their habits and patterns in those stories, I think I've done a good job. But I've also kind of gotten yesterday I had an interesting situation happen that I'll talk about in a little bit. But I just wanted to give an overall reaction and get your feedback as to how these have been helping you. Have they been hurting you? Hopefully not hurting you, right? But I really just want to get your feedback about these posts, these dailies that I've been doing. And what it got me thinking of this video today, I wanted to give some tips to people that are using digital marketing strategies and getting themselves out on social media with their business and what they do. And really, based on this reaction I got on a disharmonic day that I wanted to talk about too, was the person was talking about. I had chose a story because sometimes I do choose a news story to kind of illustrate what the day's energies are going to be like. And what I've found, what's interesting as a cosmology student, I've realized is that you don't really know what effect you're going to have on your viewers or your audience at times. And really, yesterday was kind of a teaching for me in that the reaction I got from someone was that the person felt that basically was saying, well, this is embedded in culture. The news story was, and if you want to check it out, check out yesterday's post. Was that kind of activity is part of and deeply embedded in the culture in the Bay Area. And while I didn't feel personally attacked, I think she may have, because she was from the Bay Area. She grew up in a very well educated and well adjusted area of the San Francisco Bay Area. And what I wanted to do was kind of take that disharmonic type of reaction that she had and commented on my post and kind of come up with some tips for people. And it kind of explained more about what I do in my daily posts, because it seems that it's starting to affect people in a way that they want to respond to it, which is great, and I really appreciate, and I really want to motivate people to do that. And so what I wanted to do, the first tip, I say, if you're doing an online business or marketing like strategy, or coming out with your own things to do online, is always show appreciation and thank people for contributing to what it is that you're offering on your content and your posts. I think it's important that everyone feels appreciated at times, but as I've learned in cosmology as a student and learning how to do this, is that sometimes when you give people appreciation, sometimes it can kind of backfire on you, which sometimes is counterproductive. But I think it's kind of a safe bet to just always thank someone for what they say or what they do, because it shows that it shows gratitude. But the next, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. But the news stories that I use, it's interesting because when I switch to the news stories aspect, I really think that it's an effective way to show the day's energy. When I choose a news story, I go through a couple different sources that kind of explain and give a wide range of news stories, whether it's sports, whether it's industry, what's going on in politics, the environment, sports even, what's going on in the retail medical industry. I think when I use these stories, I think what I'm surprised at as a student of cosmology is the effect that it has on people. And really what I want to do is kind of portray and illustrate the day's energy in which stories that I use in showing how that may affect people in this space, mostly humans in that respect. But I also think it's important to point out that the news and the media and the headlines are all using the divide and conquer strategy as it is, and they do so in a way that divides and pins groups of people on into arguing with each other, they do it based on religion, they do it based on gender, sexuality, even gender identity, and even pinning people that have different political attitudes against each other. So there's already a heated, charged aspect to those news stories, and when I choose them, I'm choosing them in the way that illustrates the day's energies. And that was really apparent in yesterday's comment that someone had made. I don't think she realized the breadth of what I had said in that the day's energy was disharmony, and her response therefore was disharmonic as well, in effect. So there's a cause and effect situation here, which I really point out in when people get their Tibetan astrology charts done, or they get a crystal mirror with me. I really try to point out the cause and effect situations, because that is, very important to keep in mind as you're mindful and building those strengths and talents in yourself. And really, there's a whole lot of things I take into consideration in my dailies. I'm taking into consideration the miwas for the day, the lunar day's energies. I'm taking into effect different things called tithis, which are the phases of the day. And then what I'm really doing is taking the day's elements into consideration, but you have the animal personalities coming in, and sometimes I use those as the thing of the story that's experiencing what's happening in the story, and I hope that's been effective for you to see. I'm not making this a long video, by the way, so I'll go through these next tips that I have. And really, the next tip I wanted to say was that it's not really about you. Like when you're marketing and showing what you do online, it's not about you. It's about who you're marketing and who you're targeting your audience, and coming out with the content for. So if someone is talking about things that are affecting them, that'll show in their response to you. And I think I've been seeing that a lot more this week, so I think I'm on the right path with that. But I'm really trying to reiterate this in myself, that it's really not about me. I'm trying to get rid of my egoic identity and trying to get out of the way so that I can give people what they need, instead of giving people what I need, which is something that I'm working on in my practice. And I hope that you see that and the progression of that. And people can be having a bad time right now. Like everyone is going through a lot of stressful times. They could be, losing their homes, losing their jobs, losing their families or their friends or their loved ones. And really these times are difficult for people. So I can get why there's been an emotional charge in response to some of my daily stories. And I want to make sure that people know that I'm aware of that. And really the next few things are, educate people, don't assassinate. It's not, something that you want to do to people is, bop them on the head for responding to something the way that they thought that they needed to respond. It's really, something, a place for you, and that's why I'm doing this video, is to educate versus trying to bop someone on the head, which is, some people could need a bop on the head here once in a while, but really what I want to do is educate and tell people the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I think I hope it helps. And then find your people. If you have something you're wanting to come out with, that's a certain service or a certain product, really what you should do is find your base, your people call it tribe. I don't like calling it tribe. I'd rather call it find your people, and those people will help give you a leg up and help give you some honest and good advice on how to do what you want to do. And I've been grateful to have the Sangha to help me with that, up to this point, and so I very much appreciate that. And the last one is, stressful times call for getting some things completed for yourself, like getting an almanac, a Tibetan almanac produced for you, would show you the day's energies from here out, either for the rest of the year. If you want to do one for next year, that can be commissioned. That will show you what's going to go on with your financial situation. It's going to tell you what's going on in your work situation, your career, as well as your relationships with people, and also with your health, which is very vital right now. And if you're not taking advantage of getting a Tibetan astrology chart done, I think you should, because these are the times that it's great to ask questions about what's going on with your own spirit, and where you want to go with your spirit if you want to develop it. The astrology chart will tell you a lot about your habitual patterns, what you're born in with personality-wise, and it's a great tool to figure out how you plug into this space, and what your habits and what your birth conditions are, and what you were born here with, and really how how to use those best talents that you were given, and strengths. And really, those are just the quick tips I wanted to give to you. I hope this video helped. If you want to get your Tibetan astrology chart done, I can send you a link to sign up. The payment is $200 for that, and you can also do a crystal mirror, which will be a portal that is cast for you, that could tell you how energy comes into your life from the outside world, and coming into your life, into your career, and into your family, and how it affects your rank, your reputation, basically, and how it affects you. And that can also be done. That is $250 for the crystal mirror. But that is about it for today. I hope this video helped. Please let me know your feedback about what I've been doing content-wise. I would love to hear your questions, and I would love if you could subscribe to all my channels, either Instagrams, Facebook, Brighteon, MeWe, Minds, and all the social medias. But I very much appreciate you. I wish you a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll talk with you soon.